All week, 25 Investigates has been tackling a difficult issue, child sex abuse in our public schools. What we've uncovered might have left you with a lot of questions about how to talk to your family about this, how to spot some warning signs, and what you can do to prevent abuse.
Anchor and investigative reporter Carrie Cavanaugh turned to the experts who say no matter how challenging, this has to be discussed at home and at school.
I was a junior in high school, and he invited me over to his house, and he wanted me to see the Christmas lights on his tree.
Andrea Vaughan says the invitation came from her science teacher in Norwood.
And all of a sudden, he put his arms around my waist, and I froze. I felt this panic, and I didn't know what to do. And the other thing was, now, you can't tell anybody about this. No one will understand how special this is. I'll go to jail.
She says that moment came after 2 years of grooming slowly breaking down boundaries.
He bought presents, he took kids places. And so if there was a question, they would just say, oh yeah, but that's who he is. He's just a really nice guy.
Vaughan says sharing her story of surviving years of sexual abuse in the 1980s with us in her book and through her music.
Little did I know that your power would infect me.
Is part of her lifelong healing process.
Because there are sort of two things that have gone on. One is the sexual abuse itself, and the other is the violation of trust.
Dr. Robert Sagi with the Center for Community Engaged Medicine at Tufts Medical Center specializes in child abuse pediatrics. He says children are so often unable to come forward, and if they do, there might not be physical signs of abuse. So let's talk potential warning signs.
They may start bedwetting or other kinds of problems that show that they're distressed.
Pay attention to other forms of expression as well.
Language and drawings, what children draw, should also be important for parents to keep an eye out for.
And what they're saying.
But if they start talking about sexual topics in ways that seem really inappropriate or really adult, that's a real red flag.
Sagi says immediately start a conversation. Ask if something is making them uncomfortable. That is the intervention.
Prevention is possible. Prevention is an important part of coming in and making sure no harm happens at all.
Tammy Bernardi is a prevention training coordinator at the Children's Trust.
We offer a free 5-question prevention check.
The organization runs trainings for schools and community groups to help create systems that ensure children are safe. Some are basic.
If you're working with a group of children and someone has to use the restroom, what are your policies to ensure we don't have one adult with one child?
Others more sophisticated.
What kind of background screening are you doing? What kinds of questions do you ask to ensure that the people who are working with children are a good fit?
And a daily practice of noticing certain behaviors, the signs of grooming.
People who are looking to harm children are grooming everyone around that child, which is why the policies and procedures, codes of conduct, and supervision are so important.
And most importantly, adults need to know what to do if they have concerns.
So now you think that you haunt me.
Andrea Vaughan says the risk to a child is too great. Later in life, Vaughan learned she wasn't the only one, and the teacher eventually went to jail for sexually abusing 2 other teenaged girls.
There is a power differential that you cannot ignore. It is not okay. We need to protect these children.
So many abusers convince their victims not to say anything to their moms or dads or caregivers about what's happening. Dr. Sagi says tell your children a safe and trustworthy person would never tell them to keep anything from their parents. For 25 Investigates, I'm Carrie Cavanaugh.
Carrie, thank you. If you are in need of support, call the National Sexual Assault Hotline, 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 800-656-4673.